Among the barrage of SUVs that are selling nowadays, this is one car that stands out. The segment king and kind of undisputed legend right now, the Volkswagen Virtus. And right here with us, we have the Volkswagen Virtus GT Plus Edge variant. So it has all the features, everything you want to know. This car has it. So it comes in this really controversial yellow color. Personally, I'm a fan of it in the dark lighting, but we'll talk about the colors later because there's a lot to discuss with the colors. But let's get to the body line. It has a very aggressive, like stylish body line. I really like it. Volkswagen logo displayed in glossy black. A grille that continues to the lights, which is a design trend that Volkswagen has been implementing in their cars recently. Gives it a connected look. Beautiful headlights, very reminiscent to the international variant of the Polo. Beautiful, total eye pleaser. Headlights, I mean the fog light here, and again chrome all over the grills. We'll talk about the chrome later because there's a lot to talk about, because this car is a car with a lot of variants. So there is Comfort Line, High Line, Trend Line, it's not in the correct order. High Line is the topmost, and there is then Virtus GT, Virtus GT Line, there is Virtus GT Plus, and there is also Virtus Chrome and Virtus Sport. This is a limited edition car, so this is the Virtus GT Plus Edge edition, which is very limited, like in the sense it has a few extra features which we'll talk about. Here the GT badging displayed proudly, again one of the hallmark features of the GT Edge. Has these really nice tires. The tires are 205/55 R16. So in Karnataka where we are at, it comes with these C8 tires. We'll talk about that more because there are some things that need to be addressed with the tire. The sideline, this car is, one word if I would use to describe this car, is sleek. That is what this car is. It's sleek and it's beautiful, total eye catcher. Looks are definitely not a problem with this car, and you can see these bold body lines that run from front to back, give the car a character and give it a shape. Looks very smart and aggressive. And let's talk more about how the roof slopes. It's a classic sedan, not a sub 5 meter, not a sub 4 meter sedan. Now we come to the arguably the best part of the car, the back of the car. Beautiful. It's elegant. It flows from the front to the back, and these rear lights are to kill for, man. Look really nice. And I think it looks a little bit different in other variants, but this, because it's the top end variant, it has a more cleared out look to it. This beautiful spoiler also that comes hallmark of this variant in this color. Virtus displayed proudly in GT, because I can't just like tell you, this car is beautiful to look at. You may not be a fan of this color. I get that this color might be too in the face for you, but you have to agree this car is beautiful and it does stand out in Indian roads. Let's get to the actual front of the car. In the sense, let's get to what powers the car. Again, what makes Volkswagen so famous is its power, the engines that they use. And these engines, some people might say it's not made for India maybe, but it's definitely nice to drive in India. So this car is based on the MQB platform, which is Volkswagen's re-entry to India, or kind of they wanted to come back, make a comeback. Their Polo did sell quite decently, but with the Dieselgate, Volkswagen hit a really huge backlash, and with the Ameo that did not do well at all, Volkswagen was really trying to bet it big in India, and they had like mergers with Tata, Mahindra, a lot of things to kind of keep themselves afloat. And let's just say it's working. The Kushaq is selling really well, and for Volkswagen the Virtus is the segment king. And let's open the boot and then get to the actual internals of this car. This is the manual. You can come this side and you can see the key. This has a key cover, but the key is classic Volkswagen premium. There's no problem with it. There are 3 buttons, one to open the boot, one to open and lock and unlock the car. I will unlock the car. The unlocking mechanism is very loud with this car, which is a noticeable thing with this car. I will open the door. Door feels very well built. Again, classic trait of Volkswagen's. And now let's open the boot. There's a small lever here on which I pull. It's a loud mechanism to open it. One thing which is a shortcoming with this car is the struts are not hydraulic, which you have to keep in mind. The mechanism to open it is fairly simple, but this boot is, I wouldn't say heavy, but it does not have insulation, it does not have hydraulic struts, which would have been nice if Volkswagen included it. The engine is a 1.5 liter TSI engine. TSI is standing for turbocharged stratified engine. So yes, it does have a turbo. It is a good one, and it's not just the engine that makes it good, it's also the gearbox. The engine makes 250 Newton meters of torque and 150 brake horsepower. So it is insanely fast when mated with the weight of this car and the dynamics of it. It is fun to drive. Then the gearbox in this car is a cause for concern. Concern in the sense it has a lot of reliability issues. This is the same gearbox that was there in the original Polo GT TSI. That is the infamous dry clutch DQ200 gearbox. Very nice to shift, very fun to drive, but once it gets hot and overheats, it starts cracking. Then it has things like some of the parts are mechatronics unit, accumulator, and the actual flywheel and things. And the mechatronics unit is the main part of the gearbox which gets corrupted first, and that mechatronics unit getting corrupted starts ruining the other parts also of your gearbox. And it is something you have to consider on whether you want this as a downside or not, because the replacement is, you having to replace it is almost guaranteed in the car, because it is just not built for stop and go traffic conditions in India. It gets very hot, but honestly it's not that big of a downside if you are an enthusiast. It is a trade you should be willing to make, and when we get to the driving part you will see exactly why. The battery is another thing, because Volkswagen is a brand that is generally known for packing their car, jam packing their car with technologies. It's a higher capacity battery, and this is not an ordinary battery. You can go to any shop and buy the battery. It's sourced from Volkswagen, and you just have to keep that in mind. And if you keep anything in the 12-volt socket, like we were talking to my friend Dhruv right now, who is the owner of this car, the 12-volt socket, it always runs on, so it can drain your battery, and once you drain the battery, it's like the car is locked. So keep that in mind, but you won't run into any problems if you keep the car running. It is not a cause for concern. And if you guys are wondering what that beep is, there's a rat repellent installed here, and because there is a chance of a rat biting, and vortices are for some reason infamous for having rat bites. I was seeing online yesterday on Reddit, rats love vortices too. Maybe the parts are really tasty, but yeah, we can talk about the boot also while we're at it. I'm pressing the button on the boot, and you can see the boot is opening, and you might think it's aggressive, but actually initially when the car came, it was slower, but there are adjustment levers here. If you see, there are adjustment levers here where you can adjust how fast it opens. Over here Dhruv has adjusted it to give it a faster opening. The boot is a massive boot, 500 liters. You can store how many ever bodies you want in the car. But yeah, 500 plus liters. I think it's the segment leader for the boot space. And you can see there is a full size tire here for the spare, and it is an alloy wheel, which is again rare for you to see from brands, but it's not the same chrome wheel, because Volkswagen has this habit of showing that you're running on the spare wheel so that you replace it a lot more faster. But yeah, let's talk about the ingress and egress while we are at it. The boot closes with a firm thud. Just press this, and you can see the way the door opens. And you can see the door opens wide. Getting in is not easy, but this lip is a little bit high. But once you get in, it feels like you're being chauffeur driven. Comfortable. Under thigh support is good, but lumbar support I didn't feel was that great. But the headroom for me is decent, but I can see for someone taller like Dhruv, it would be harder to sit for a longer time at this thing. And this is me fully reclined. If I were to sit in my actual seating position, even for me it is very close to the top.
Downsides of having a sedan.
Yeah, one of the downsides of having a sedan, but it is insanely comfortable. Now when we come here, you can see the speakers here. This car has a 10 speaker sound setup made by Panasonic. In fact, when we showed you the spare tire, the subwoofer, which is again a trademark of this variant, the Edge variant, was placed in between the spare tire. Now an interesting thing about this car is how there is different levels of adjustment to the door. Like here it's very close to the door, but it doesn't close. Here there is one level of adjustment, and here there is another level of adjustment, and then there's the full open. So if you're on a place where a tight parking spot, you don't have to worry about the door just flinging open, flinging close. And in fact, this is kind of reminiscent of Porsche, where the door you can close it at any angle and it stays still. I'm not saying it's the exact same, but yeah, just some of that VW family relations that you can see. And there are request sensors on both sides. Again, a really nice feature to do. Mirrors are auto folding and the mirrors are fairly big. This chrome strip that runs from front to back, again a feature which luxury cars have. So it's nice to see, but this is all aftermarket. Shark fin antenna gives it a really nice sporty look. So the ground clearance is a massive 170 millimeter, which is again I think class leading, which is the main problem with the Honda City, and that you won't have a ground clearance issue per se, but the wheelbase is long of this car, so you can't go on huge downhill slopes and expect it to glide through. But on bad roads, don't expect this to like have any issues that way. So you can see I'm sitting in my friend's driving position. He sits very low and very far from the steering wheel. I can't see the road. Actually, I can't see the road. And he's a very tall individual. He's 6'3", so this makes sense for him. I'm somewhere around 5'6", so for me it's not that. It's very far. Now I have to start the car. The button is here. That's one more thing you have to keep. I went here because in my car it's here. But yeah, I'm starting the engine and the engine roars to life and I'm letting go of the brake. Now one nice thing is this has electrical adjust. So I'm lifting the seat a bit. It is slow, but again it's electric, so it's cool. Steering controls. The actual steering controls is the wiper is here and the indicators are here. Classic Volkswagen trademark. Steering has a shit ton of buttons. I mean, you don't have any problem. So all the selectors are here. So if I were to interact with any of the things, the settings and stuff, you can interact with it here. Buttons are very nice to click. Skip songs are here. Increase the volume is here. And there is no pause button here, but yeah, there is a little bit delay because it's using wireless CarPlay, but this car has wireless CarPlay. Here again the cruise control options, and I think this is for the ADAS that is there in some place. And actually you can program this to have that, like at least if not the ADAS, at least the automatic
You can
parking.
actually program it to have level 3 ADAS.
Okay,
This car has that. So you basically see this button. So I'm the owner of the car, guys. So you see this button? You click it and you will get a button without function on the top.
But can you program it?
Yes, you can. You can program this button. There are many vertices in Bangalore, which I know about, that have programmed this to be a level 3 ADAS.
And you can also get this car. One more thing is through mods, you can also get the automatic parking in this car.
You can.
So those BMW Audi level features you can get on this car. There are two vents here. There is also a vent here. AC is definitely a chiller. Now let's talk about the materials. This is soft touch, but all this plastic doesn't feel very Volkswagen. I feel they could have done a little bit better. If you've been in an older Volkswagen car, you can feel that there's no, like, it feels a little bit more rattly. The older Volkswagen cars, I feel personally, it was built a little better. Another gripe is that there is like no lock button there, but like again, it's not a big.
It's one. I mean, if it's locked, it's 1 and then 2. So.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Whereas I'm more used to having an individual lock button for every single door. There is this strip here. If you see, it will vary based on the line of the car you are using. Right now this is silverish, but in other cars like the red car you can get red. For the white car you can get black, and for the sports variant you get like a matte black version, which is very nice. The aircon is all touch. I'm not a huge fan of touch controls, but it is fairly intuitive. There is no lag per se, and you can see that. One thing we had shown you in the Baleno that it shows here, that is not there. The instrument cluster is more hands-on, but this is a totally digital instrument cluster. And yeah, that there is also a glove box here for storage, and it's a weighted glove box. It feels like very nice to open, but
many
it's
cars which don't have this feature. Again, it's a very simple thing that this moves forward, so you can place your hands,
and it moves forward by a huge margin.
Yeah.
So you can actually rest your hand on the gear selector here, although that's not good for the car. But yeah, that is an option. Wireless charging here. Let me just show you guys that it works. Wireless charging here. Just slot in your phone, and you can see it's charging. There are two USB-C ports here. Again, I think for the auxiliary also and for also charging. And there is a 12-volt socket charger here, placed in between. So I don't know, maybe it gives a lot of accessory potential. I've seen some people put that moonlight here facing towards the roof, Speaking of the roof, there is also a sun roof in this car. Can open it possibly, and you can see it's not a huge sunroof. I think the Verna has a bigger sunroof.
Just by a small margin. Like it'll come around till here of the Vernas, still here. So I didn't find that much of a difference in sunroof. So I myself am not that big of a sunroof. Like see, it's a sunny day today, and if you're living in India, you will have the sunroof probably closed all the time.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to have.
Yeah, there's one touch open, lets a lot of air in, makes the cabin really wide.
Don't make your kids go out though.
Yeah, don't make your kids go out. The seats are black. Interior is a mix of white and black, so it doesn't feel too dark, doesn't feel too claustrophobic. But the C-pillar is gigantic of this car. You can see the height for Dhruv, who is actually 6'3".
Hi guys, I'm 6'3", and you can see that my head is touching. Normally it didn't used to touch. My hair is a bit long right now, so I can actually sit in this car. It's not that uncomfortable. I can do around 200 to 300 kilometers. You can see there is legroom. It's not like I'm sticking my legs up or something like that. But if you are taller and you have taller passengers sitting in front too, you will have an issue sitting in the back.
That is it for the interiors of the car, honestly. You could show the glove box, which is very big, and it is cooled also. Glove box feels very premium compared to other brands. You can just, when you press it, you can feel that it feels
And
very
it's cooled,
premium.
I think.
There is one bottle holder here. The lights adjust is here, like all VW cars. You can adjust the light here, and there is headlight leveler here. There's a lock, this thing, and I think this is your anti-theft.
Yeah, it is.
Your anti-theft light here. This is one important thing. The one touch down is only there for this door,
And it's one touch up too.
and one touch up doesn't work.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It works sometimes.
Yeah.
Doesn't work sometimes. That kind of thing. But yeah, windows close fast. That's not a problem. It's not. It sounds premium when it's closing the windows. It doesn't sound very rubbery, which some cars do. There is also. Is there no button to auto fold the mirrors?
No, there is no button to auto fold. It automatically folds while locking and unlocking it.
There is. I wouldn't say a proper dead pedal, but there is a dead pedal where you can leave your legs. You can see here there are some aftermarket lights that Dhruv has installed. You can now talk about the navigation of the car. We can play the speaker also.
First we can do the speaker test.
There is a little
Apple
bit
CarPlay.
input.
Just go to Apple CarPlay.
Input delay is there for
Let's do
sure because it's wireless.
No, it's not that. Just click on the top right, that play
Uh-huh.
button. Yeah. So this is Apple CarPlay.
Two, three, four. And that. Two behind the.
Yeah. So the total of 10 speaker system with a subwoofer in the back
Yeah,
of the car.
No, this is fine. I like this speaker more than other cars' speakers because it's a lot more well balanced. I don't feel it's bass heavy. I don't like cars that are too bass heavy. And this car felt a lot more balanced from what I've heard of it, and even before I've heard some songs in this.
Driving data.
You can actually go more into the driving data. Click that. Yeah. So since last
This is-
refuel and since
this is-
long term, you can see. Okay guys, so hi, I'm Dhruv. I'm the owner of the car. I'm going to be driving the car first. Then I'm going to be handing over to Gautam, so he can give you his reviews and my reviews. I'm a long-term owner. So
Also, you've been in the Volkswagen family for a long time.
Yeah, I have owned a Jetta before this, which was really a nice car, and that's what got me to own this car. So first thing I like about this car is the steering feel, right? So I test drove the Honda City, the Hyundai Verna, and the Volkswagen Virtus GT. All of them I test drove in top end because I wanted the performance, the good engine, and the most power you can get, because I am a car enthusiast and I really like that. So first thing you get to know away from the get-go is how smooth it is. Like there is no sound coming from the outside, good sound deadening, good AC, it's not that loud. Like it's in one setting right now, but it's not that loud. And the steering, which is light, but not that light. If you know what I mean, the real car enthusiast watching this video, that if the steering gets too light, your car will feel like a toy. And you don't actually want that feel from a car. You want it to be controlling, commanding, and move how you want it to move. So in this car, there's a feature that at lower speeds, most cars have this feature, that at lower speeds the steering will be light, comfortable. You can see that I'm maneuvering this car with one finger. It is light, but it's not that light. And that is one thing I liked about this car, that it doesn't feel like a toy to drive. Like, the car you want to drive should have some feel to it. It should have some wow factor. Whenever you get in the car, it should have a smile on your face, right? And this does exactly that. Yes, there have been some issues with my car. Like, when I first bought it, the gearbox was not functioning that properly. And it was a major concern, thinking that it's a 25 lakh car, right? It should not be happening. Volkswagen had admitted that, and they've repaired it under warranty for free. And after that, it's been working perfectly fine. So as Gautam mentioned, that the DQ200 is unreliable, and it performs really bad when it gets really hot, right? That is true to some extent. The Volkswagen have actually resolved this issue after the Polo has been launched. So they have introduced some kind of fluid inside the gearbox, right? So that makes it cool, that makes it easier. There is less friction inside, and it has considerably become more smoother than the Polo's generation. As you can see right now, you hardly feel the gear shifts. You think it's an electric car until you realize that, okay, there's an engine. So yeah, so that's very funny. Like, coming from a diesel Jetta, this car feels like an electric car, because I am not used to petrol cars. This is my first petrol car. I had an Alto before this. So this car is driving wise, I'm giving a guarantee. Coming from a Volkswagen Jetta, which is a tier above this was the one which compared to that. Nothing else which I test drove, nothing else can give you the joy of driving this car. The amount of grip this car has is absolutely absurd. So what I noticed with the Verna was there was a considerable steering input delay. So when I used to turn it like that, there was a delay to it. I don't know what that felt like, but there was a delay. Right now I'm going to chuck the car into a corner, and you will see that it absolutely handles it like it's nothing. Just look at this.
Shit.
Sad Atharv in the back has been thrown around. I shouldn't have done that. So you saw, did you even feel anything, you guys?
It felt planted.
Yeah, it does feel planted. That's the beauty of the chassis of.
So how many kilometers have you driven on this car?
This car has done around 5,500 kilometers, and most of it is city driving. So I'll tell you about the fuel efficiency of this car.
Right now it's showing 3.5 kilometers per liter.
Yeah, so the fuel efficiency of this car was 3.5 because we kept it on for a long time and we're sitting in AC without moving. So showing 3.5 right now. Normal city driving, you'll get around 7 to 9.
But shouldn't it be stopping the engine actually? The auto start stop, shouldn't it
Yes,
kick in?
because the engine was not hot enough. It has to get heated up. And then when it thinks that you need to shut the engine down, it will shut it down. Which right now it's on. Okay. Sometimes the auto start stop can be too sensitive. Sometimes when it gets slow on the speed breakers, it'll shut off the engine. Like right now also it might shut off the engine because the engine is not hot enough and the battery is not charged enough. It doesn't turn it off.
And this battery charges the more you drive it or something like that, right?
The voltage gets higher and higher. And as soon as it crosses the 14 volt mark, it'll start turning off the engine, turning on the engine. Then it gets pissing off, I just turn it off. I don't use that feature, honestly. So the normal fuel efficiency in city driving, you will get around 7 to 9, 9 being the maximum. I'm speaking about living in Bangalore, guys, where you take 2 hours to go 8 kilometers.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not bad at all. And this car is the only car in the segment which comes with a feature called active cylinder deactivation, right? Yeah. So what this active cylinder deactivation does is, imagine you're cruising on a highway. Normal car uses all 4 cylinders to power the roads, right? So what this car does is it turns off 2 spark plugs. So what it actually does is now it's being combusted only into 2 cylinders instead of 4 cylinders. Deactivating cylinder means it turns off the spark plugs. The cylinder is still moving.
Okay.
It's still moving
but it's
inside.
not getting a spark.
Yeah, it's not getting a spark. So it's actually being combusted only into 2 cylinders. The fuel is going only into 2 cylinders that time.
So efficiency increases.
So I did a recent trip to Hampi, which is around 400 kilometers from Bangalore, where we live. It gave an astonishing 23.8 kilometer per liter in a petrol-powered 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. Now that is mileage efficiency I have not heard of in any other car. So yeah, the efficiency, this car is truly unbeatable. If you want mileage and you want performance, I don't think there's a better option than this. One thing this car does lack on is features, right? Now in India, there is a lot of things around, okay, we want a big sunroof, okay, we want this feature, we want that feature. Yes, that's right. This car only has a reversing camera, and you have an option to get the front sensors, but that's an option. So you have to choose
This
that
car
option.
has that option.
This car doesn't have that. This car doesn't have that option, because as a customer, I don't need it. Many people do need it, and I completely agree to that. This car is lacking on the 360-degree camera and the features. At this price point, it should have had at least front sensors, plus at least level 2 ADAS maybe. But this is what this car is all about. If you want to buy this car, you want to drive and you want to be alive, right? So what this car excels at is the performance, the handling around turns. As you saw in the video, how easily it just shoots into turns. You will feel confident throwing this around. You are just connected to the steering. This steering is better than the Jetta steering. This is a pleasure one to drive. It just feels in control. It just feels planted. You can throw it around how much ever you want. Suspension is a big talking point. It feels like an SUV suspension, which is a good thing for India maybe.
Would you say it's soft or stiff?
It is soft. It is soft, right? Because of the chassis combination and the suspension combination, it feels rightly balanced for Indian roads plus highway driving. Now what I'm going to do is shift it to S, right? Which is done by just done. You're in S now, right? So now what you get is a higher rev range. You can see it's not shifting at second. It's still going. And now you're at the boost range. As soon as you click it, it just goes. We are at 70. I cannot drive that fast in this kind of road conditions. So I'm not going to do that. We just got to 70 in under, I do not know what, I'm not counting. I had to focus. But when you do want it, this car gets the move on, and you won't believe how it gets the move on. Normal driving conditions, I was just cruising one day and I heard the 120 speed limiter. You can see here 70 again.
And the 70 feels like 100.
Literally, the way you can throw the car around corners is just insane. It is just out of this world. I'm not able to show you because it's obviously public driving conditions. You have to be safe. There is public. But when there are empty roads, this car just glides. Like right now we're in D mode. You can't even feel the gear shifts.
Yeah.
We are at 80.
It's just going.
It just pulls and pulls and pulls. This car is actually made to do 200 plus. It's electronically limited to 200, exactly 200, because of India driving conditions. And obviously it comes with the beeper at 80, at 120 and all that. But pulling wise, I don't think there's a comparison to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with driving. One thing is I only use my right hand for driving, so now I have to do that and shift it. Ooh, handbrake is heavy. So one thing is I feel the rear visibility is poor with this car. In fact, I can barely see anything in the back. But yeah,
the seat belt.
I feel confident in the seat. I feel like I have been driving this car for a while, even though I haven't been. I feel when I let go of the accelerator, there is a slight pullback to it, which I'm not a huge fan of. I would like for it to be smoother.
So I also, like Gautam said, my uncle has the Virtus. I don't think it's the Edge, but it's a GT 1.5 liter one. So I got to drive it a bit on the highway and a bit in the city in my hometown. So I can also talk a bit about my driving experience. So basically, like everyone said right now, it's smooth.
It's addictive.
It's smooth.
Very addictive.
It's addictive.
I'm trying not to get addicted to it.
And the shifting is so smooth. It runs away to 6th or 7th gear, and like the 7th gear, a 7-speed gearbox, it makes the car even smoother.
That is again. So I am the type of guy who drives only with one hand. So down. Is it off?
Yeah. So like I was saying, because of the 7-speed gearbox, it picks up really quickly. Like you just put your feet on the accelerator, it jumps, it flies to 60, 70, and on a highway it's definitely a treat. Yeah, I think now I get the hype of this car. Initially I was kind of dismissive of this car. The whole lore on Reddit that सांस लेता हूँ तो कोई Virtus ले लेता है, I wasn't getting the hype. Everyone buying this car, I never got the hype, but once you drive it, you definitely understand what this car has to offer, and all the downsides feel invisible when you get into the driving seat. And like Gautam said, you feel planted in the driving when you're in the seat, and you feel like it's not the first time you're driving the car, and you're like a person who's driving it regularly. So that way the whole seating comfort in the driving position is also good. One thing I did feel in my uncle's car, because that's like black exterior and black interior as well, so I did feel a bit claustrophobic, and that's also probably because I'm coming from having 2 SUVs. I mean, the Exter is a micro SUV. Yeah, but still the airiness it gives, especially in the Safari and even the Exter for that matter, this does feel a bit claustrophobic in comparison. But yeah, that's something you definitely get used to over time.
So as Athar was talking, I was just taking all the points in what I feel about this car. The pedals are incredibly smooth, very, very smooth. Everything can be done gently, and I won't call this car happy to rev. I'm not saying it isn't, but it can be driven very smoothly. It has like 2 different lives to it. The Hexa, which we just drove a few minutes back, was happy to rev. This car is a little different. This car can be driven in different ways, and I am finding pleasure driving it gently. It's smooth. The engine braking is also very smooth. I'm not noticing any shifts while I wanted to just engine brake. It's very, very, you can just glide in this car, which is what I liked about it. It's not, for me, it's not the speed. For me, it's just how comfortable I can go in it. Because I know if I try, I can take like most cars fast. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that was another point I wanted to make.
Slow down. Such a smooth suspension.
Yeah, like since the car is also longer, the advantages of having a sedan, you can glide through potholes. Like when I was driving my uncle's car, there were a bit of like patches on the road which they filled up because of the potholes or whatever. And normally if I was on the Exter or something, I would slow down on them, but I just sent it through them and I didn't feel it at all. So since the car is longer, it gives that bit of cushion on bad roads as well. Not as bad as these Bangalore roads, hit different, but
steering is superb.
Small what do you call it, small potholes, it's gonna just glide through them.
Just watch how it takes this weirdly shaped hump. If I go super slow, it's not a problem. Like if you're someone who has back problems and things, like I get back problems often, I feel I would love driving this car on a daily basis. For me, after 1 hour of driving, I start to feel it in my back. And this car is wide though, so won't be the best, most friendly car to drive in these small roads like how I am used to. So that is a slight struggle for me, but I think give it a week or 2 and it will feel like home. Now, one issue this car has that we didn't mention is that lots of users, especially in North India, Bangalore's climate is honestly a charm. So like we don't have any problem with it. Never gets too hot, never is too cold. But in North India, people are struggling with the AC. Apparently the AC of this car isn't as great, and a lot of people are very disappointed with it. Same applies to Slavia, the Taygun. So I don't know if it's the actual AC compressor which is small, or if Volkswagen has done some cost cutting, but do keep that in mind.
if I can pitch in here, it'll be great.
Yeah.
So, as this is a German car, the setting of this car in the VCDS is been set to a cold region, which is not what you want in India. India is a hot region, it comes under hot region. So this car's ECU is actually locked, so you cannot change that. Other people, which I know, I'm in a Virtus group, we have a Virtus group of Bangalore, all of the owners are there. So they have basically changed it to a hot region and the AC works perfectly well, but this only applies to the older cars. So the newer cars, yes, living in North India, it will be a bit of an issue. As you can see, it's running at 19.5 right now, and it does get pretty cold inside. Outside temperature is recording around 28 degrees. It's cooling the car pretty well. So if you run it at low, I don't think it's that much of an issue, but at 45 degree plus temperatures in North India, I feel you might have an issue. So keep that in mind before buying this car. If you live in places like Delhi, which you need a lot of cooling, this might not be the car for you just because of the AC, because it makes a lot of difference.
So that was the review, guys. We didn't record a proper outro, so I have to do it later. Like I edited the video already. A couple of things we missed, which I realized while we were editing, is that first things first, the seats are ventilated. So it's only the cooling function though. You can't heat it, you can only cool the seats. So that's a good thing. That's one thing we missed talking about. The car has 6 airbags and it has a 45-liter fuel tank. So those are some other things we didn't talk about. And another cool feature is that the rear seats can be folded down, so you get the whole bed flat for you, like if you want to carry any big pieces of luggage, like it could be furniture or things like that. Not most of the other sedans don't have this feature. It's only the German ones which have this feature. So that's another cool feature which we missed talking about. Yeah, I think that was it which we missed. We didn't talk about the infotainment screen much, but yeah, I think we showed you like the basic stuff. Hope you liked the review. First of all, huge shout out to Dhruv for letting us review his car first of all, and the amount of insight he gave us was actually really good. So thanks to Dhruv again for letting us review his car and giving us such great insights. I know the review got a bit technical. If you watch the full video and let us know, like if you want us to make reviews more technical or if you want it to be some different, give us your feedback. If you have, if you are from Bangalore and if you have a car which you think we can review, reach out to us on Instagram, or you can email us and then we can take it forward from there. Click here to watch the Safari video and click here to watch the Baleno review, and I'll see you guys there. Bye.